Hey everybody, Adam Savage, and I am not in my cave. I'm with my friend Pierre Bohanna. How are you, sir?
Lovely to meet you again.
Lovely to see you again. I'm going to give an intro. So Pierre, in his normal work day of life, builds every manner of spacesuit and costume and engine. You solve impossible engineering problems for the film industry. Is that reasonable? Oh, sometimes you solve them. Yeah. We won't cover the fails.
No, thank you.
But this is a different venture. This is Bohanna Art. Yeah. And this is what we're talking about is some of Pierre's executions of fine art. And I walked into your office and was like, you did not make a 3D representation of Rousseau's tiger.
I did.
That's okay. Talk to me about this thing. This is insane and so beautiful. He's one of my favorite artists.
It's such a lovely picture. And I was obviously lucky enough. It's in National Gallery here in the UK, and I was there, and we were looking and talking about it, and you're standing in front of it, and the way that it's done, it's almost like a theatre set. It's got that that beautiful layer,
like a set of flats.
Yeah, exactly. But also in the watercolors, there's a translucency, and it said so much about light. I just how it resonated with me. So I just kept on thinking, rolling it around in my head and things like that. God, I'd love to almost just inflate it, just to see, walking into it and things like that. And of course, that seed, in the middle of the night, bath times and things like that, just grew and grew and grew. And I was chatting with the guys, and I'd love to make a model of it. But it's about light. It's really about translucency and light and movement and that kind of feel, trying to capture that. So that's we started thinking, and then eventually we started doing, and one day this appeared.
So it's so remarkable to sit in front of this, because there's a way in which Rousseau's paintings feel like a child's version of reality, or a child's dream of reality. And then I look at this, and because it's physical, it makes me feel almost childlike in being able to see it and engage with it physically. I'm curious how hard it was to get this to look right, both in terms of the translucency, but also in terms of the composition.
Yeah, it's always that last 10%,
which takes all the work,
which
right?
is 90% of the job. Yeah, definitely. It's you because you're right. We had to do, and then to do, and then to do. So even the grass.
There's a translucency problem. You're using translucent resins of all sorts of different colors. There had to be a lot of R&D for
that. Exactly. And you have to, and that literally is casting and trying, because obviously the form and when you produce in the molds, it's all about the density of what you're pouring into the molds.
Yeah.
The opacity in it, and the slight tints, and they're really, really subtle percentages. And then it's just got to work as a collective as well. So we have, sometimes the grass is tone, and then you're introducing sort of warmer colours and more blues and more, and on it goes. And of course, it's also one of those things. The more you look at, the more it demands. So
right.
It was such a massive journey. I mean, this took us over a year to make.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, and I mustn't listen to myself so much. but it was so enjoyable, because you could just almost seeing it sort of. I mean, being born, it's a bit overdramatic, but it just appearing and just and generating, and it kept referencing back to the picture as well, the original picture, so that was our board. Yeah. That just, we've got to get that essence. We've just got to capture that essence, and so that's that's what we're doing.
It must give you you must have a different relationship with the painting now.
Yeah.
I mean, you go back and see it, and it's now part of you.
Yeah. I suppose. It is, yeah.
Right, like
I think it's just, you never expect to study it so much.
Well, and one of the things I'm always love to bang on about engineering is that real engineering happens in your body.
Yes.
Right? It's like you bring the thing in, and then you process it, and then your hands deliver, right?
Yeah.
And so this thing is totally in your body.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm curious about that last 10%. Was there must have been towards the end some moments where you're like, I'm just not sure this is going to work?
Yes. I think that's where you have to be the bravest. I mean, I've had a career of being in those moments and just really trying to.
Well,
you've got to
solving
push it on.
engineering problems for
Yeah,
films where
exactly.
the director wants something and they don't know what reality is, and
No,
you still have to
exactly.
deliver what they want.
And you've promised, and you need to deliver, and
Right.
and you need to push the thing uphill.
So
And
you're used to that feeling of
yeah. It's in a sadistic way.
pushing
You've
on
got to-
faith, as it were.
Well, but educated faith, and
Yes.
also, I think for me, it's about surrounding myself with people that can assist. Something like this doesn't come from a single person. This is a collective of people's skills, and that's actually what gives you the breadth and the capacity to be able to pull it off and have the confidence to deal with that last 10%. Is that we can talk and discuss and challenge and debate and bring through.
Oh, that's a great microcosm of what you do here as well.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
overseeing how this is going to get across the line while your team is expertly executing all the pieces.
Yeah, exactly. And you never possess all the ideas.
Yeah.
But 10 people will have far more good ideas than one person. So it's that kind of thing.
Okay, Pierre, so you've made this, but to what end? What is the goal for Bohanna Art?
So Bohanna Art, we really want to offer people the opportunity to be able to purchase pieces like this.
Like a physicalization of a piece of artwork.
Absolutely. Wow. So as well as the pieces we're going to talk about, but if people want to have an interpretation of a work of art, then we're up for trying to do that for them. So it's our capacity and our imagination and our ideas combined with someone else who has some ideas or just loves what we're doing. And just sort of, just joining in on the party, really.
Okay,
and
so this is for collectors.
Yes,
and we have a couple of other examples here. This one blew my mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is clearly Vincent van Gogh's Sunflowers.
It is. But so again, really, and again, Vincent especially is so much about light,
right?
And in kind of in my career, when you're looking at real metal finishes, light from metal is more intense. Yeah. If you paint something, you're always reducing the intensity of light.
Right.
If you think a classic mirror is silver. So you have a glass and you put it's a fine layer of silver on the back, and that intensity, that's the most reflective material you can get. So jewelry, etc., it's just about that. That strength and your eyes are susceptible to it. Film cameras are. Gold plating. I always remember when we were doing the Potter, Stuart Craig always loved the production design. I would love putting gold leaf on things, and I never really understood it till you see it on film, and then
pops
it
like
just
paint
exactly, and it's really interesting. So. And the Sunflowers is about light. When you look at the portrait, again, it's about the the end of summer, that intensity of heat, that intensity of light, and really so for in my mind, it was about capturing the real sunflowers, and so these are real sunflowers.
Oh, these aren't sculpted or digitally?
No. These are real sunflowers, and we use a process called electroforming, which is basically getting proper metal to coat onto the surface of non-conductive surfaces.
Amazing. So you're giving the sunflower a conductive surface on which to plate.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right. So all of these initially are silver plated.
Gotcha.
So you see some of these we've left silver, so they're still registering. And then once you have the silver, then you're able to then put on top of that a layer of gold. So the gold it's real gold and real silver. And then we have the vase himself is a copper vase.
I love you using your institutional knowledge of what pops to look at the Van Gogh painting and thinking, if that was real, what would give me the effect I'm looking at here?
Yeah, and it's also it's the intensity. It's that value, not numerical value.
I know what you mean.
But there's an intensive value.
Color value, the light
color
value
that we really want to try and capture. So that's what we're trying to do here.
And I didn't notice the signature until you pulled off the cloche, and just seeing it there feels like someone scratched that in there.
It has to be. You have to have that there, don't you? It is his.
This is great. I love that. Yeah, your regular business is making real impossible things, and you're doing the same here.
Yeah, for ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Can we talk about this last one?
Yeah. So this is Charles I. So we want to do a proper classic bronze.
Right.
But this is from a portrait of Charles I by Van Dyck, and it's very much taken from a very particular pose. And again, I love the challenge to be able to say, okay, let's take the portrait and let's let the 3D form come out. So it's interesting because obviously with the portraiture you can get away with so much. So the things like the horse's head is actually quite small in comparison to the body.
Oh yeah.
But it works within the portrait.
Right.
And it's interesting to see it as part of the sculpture.
Oh, fascinating. Right. I can see now that this is slightly ill-proportioned, but my eye didn't notice that until you told me.
Because it's part of the artwork. Again, it was looking at the portrait and taking it in, but then thinking of the medium of making it physical almost. It's almost leafing out of the page. I mean,
well, I think that the other thing is a regular human being would go, oh, a man on a horseback. Let me get an action figure of a man and an action figure of a horse, and that'll solve most of my problems. But you knew with your knowledge, that's never going to...
No.
You have to look at the portrait, and the portrait is where everything starts and ends.
That's right. Because of the subtleties of the portrait.
Right.
His pose, his thought, those elements, you have to sustain those.
The artist is servicing something other than reality.
Yeah, exactly. There's more information than you think you see.
Well, so now I'm curious, is there aspects of this painting, of any of these pieces of art that you feel... You must feel like you have a deeper relationship with them.
I think so, but the lovely thing about art is that we all do.
Right, of course.
We all look at the same picture and we all have that. And I suppose for me, yes, I have that. But for these, it's about you having that as well. So it's you finding that in this interpretation of them, in this idea of what they should be.
And people can go to your website and take a look at these.
Yeah. And they can contact us if they want one.
Amazing. I love this excursion.
Yeah. No, it's great fun.
Dude, it's really, really thrilling. I walked in and saw that, again, one of my favorite artists, Le Douanier, right? I mean, they would I love the way they all took care of him in Paris back then, right? Because he was sort of like a man-child.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful, sir.
Thank
really,
you
so
much.
you can follow the link in the description to get to Pierre's website. Dude, I can't wait to see what the next piece is.
So do I.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to tell you about some brand new merch we have. One of my favorite things we've ever produced are our demerit badges, which are scout badges for messing things up, as we all do. They're bestsellers, and we started out selling them as patches, then we moved to stickers, and now, ladies and gentlemen, we have demerit badge magnets for your fridge or your machines, and we started out with a 4-pack of our greatest hits. You can find these right now at tested-store.com.